Advanced Studio Classroom is on the air. A fast way to solve a problem. Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Linda, and we are reviewing a book in our speed review, and I think that this kind of category is very apt for the article that we're reading, or the book that we're reviewing, which is Sprint, and it's all about speed. And here to help me discuss this article today in the studio is
Linda C. Hi everyone.
And Simon.
Yes, and I'm Linda also. And yesterday we started on our speed review, which is about the book called Sprint. And it is a new method for solving customers' problems that has been introduced by Google Ventures. So we already spent one day discussing this. What stood out to you yesterday, Linda?
Well, something from the fourth step. On the fourth day, the process includes prototyping the solution. And this word is in our specialized terms. And we often see it as a noun, which means the first working model or version of something. But here, we use it as a verb to make a prototype.
And just to give a quick review of what we are talking about here with the Sprint. Sprint is basically a 5-day process for solving very specific problems in a very efficient kind of way. So it goes through 5 days with 5 different steps. Linda mentioned the fourth day where you prototype a solution. I would mention the mapping, which is what you do on the first day, the Monday. You map out the problem. This is an interesting word because usually when we think of maps, we think about something like a road map that shows you an actual picture of the Earth and sort of gives you directions where to go so you can see where you are and where you're going. In this sense, we're using mapping instead to refer to something more like a flow chart that lays out or explains a process.
So we're looking at solving customers' problems, and we're looking at customers as a whole. So we are trying to solve something maybe that we can't see, like within a company they can't see. And it's necessary on your team to have people with multifunctional backgrounds, so you don't want to have all people from marketing. You need to have maybe one person from there and one person, from a variety of backgrounds come in and be on your Sprint team, as what it's called. And yesterday when I closed, I said, join us for 4 more days. But today we're going to discuss all of those 4 days. This is not like a 5-day article. So yesterday we started with Monday, and today we're going to finish the week off and see what else is entailed in the Sprint process. And I just want to point out that Google Ventures, which is a capital investment or venture capital part of Google, has run more than 100 of these sprints and through all kinds of organizations, museums, healthcare organizations, educational institutions, insurance companies. They've run a lot of these and found them to be successful. So they've put out a book, or they wrote a book called Sprint, so that people can, use them and try them in their own organizations. So if you have your advanced magazine with you, you want to turn to page 11 and you can read along with us. And we're going to read on page 11 in the left-hand column through line 20.
"4 days to go." The authors break down the rest of the days in the same clear, step-by-step manner. They give the order in which the major tasks for each day must be accomplished, offer tools and methodologies to help accomplish the tasks, and offer real examples throughout from their clients. In general, the days proceed as follows. On Tuesday, the goal is to come up with solutions. After reviewing existing ideas through a process called Remix and Improve, Each team member creates a sketch of a solution. The sketching process is not a leisurely artistic endeavor, but rather a rigorous 4-step process. 20 minutes to gather information, 20 minutes to doodle rough solutions, 8 minutes to try 8 variations of the ideas, then 30 minutes to draw the detailed solution. On Wednesday, the team critiques the sketches, then chooses the winning scenes from the sketches to create a storyboard, which the authors write is a step-by-step plan for your prototype.
So if you were with us yesterday, you saw that we summarized what happens on Monday, and now we're going to look at the summaries of the next 4 days. And it is a very clear step-by-step manner. So it tells you step 1, step 2, really what to do. And they give you the order of the major tasks that you have to accomplish every day. And they don't just tell you to do something, they also help you with what, Linda?
Well, they offer tools and methodologies to help you accomplish the task. And the word methodology is our vocabulary focus word, and it's just a system of ways of doing things. So how to go about doing it. And they also offer real examples throughout from their clients.
We saw a good example of these tools and methodologies yesterday when we were talking about the first day and the HMW note. Mm-hmm. And so basically the idea there was that the team had mapped out the process that the customer goes through, and then they were talking to experts. And so while they were talking to experts, they were creating these notes that were sort of questions for the expert. And so it gave a little process that you could go through to do this and help identify maybe other problems or possible solutions throughout the flowchart.
Right. And then it said that those how might we notes should be all over your graph that you drew or your map that you drew yesterday, and then you can focus on one aspect of it. So remember, we're not trying to solve every problem here. This is fairly focused when you're doing the sprint process. So now we've seen that we're going to take a look at the second day, Tuesday. And yesterday we identified the problem, and today they're going to come up with solutions. I thought this was pretty interesting. You know, it's not like sitting back and having coffee and talking about it endlessly. It's pretty straightforward and very kind of fast-moving.
Yes, it's very task-oriented. You have to be on the ball. It's not just, like you said, sitting back and discussing the problem.
Well, you do. Okay, so you review the ideas through a process called remix and improve. And then each team member sketches or creates a sketch of the solution, which I think is interesting because every member is very involved and very hands-on. So you have to have somebody that's very familiar with, or people on your team that are very familiar with maybe outcomes, processes, what can be done to be accomplished here. So what happens here, Simon?
Well, basically people are sketching, but it tells us this isn't a leisurely artistic endeavor, meaning they're not just drawing pictures. Instead, it's a rigorous 4-step process. And rigorous here, of course, just means intense or very careful and thoughtful, detailed process.
Mm-hmm. And we see that, they have really laid this out very clearly, and you do not have much time.
No, you don't.
So you have 20 minutes to do what, Linda?
To gather information, and then another 20 minutes to doodle rough solutions, and then only 8 minutes to try 8 different variations of the ideas. And then finally you have 30 minutes to draw the detailed solution.
A 78-minute workday. That sounds perfect, doesn't it? That's very efficient. Very efficient.
Yeah,
okay.
I was wondering about that. Is it just so each person just sketches one solution, or maybe they might sketch more than one solution?
Well, okay, let's go back to 20 minutes. Let's start at the very beginning. It's a 4-step process, so you get 20 minutes to gather information. So is everybody at their own desk doing research? I mean, you have 20 minutes to review what happened yesterday.